Just on the trip, toughness trip, especially Thursday, and then great resilience on Saturday, really wire to wire, Coach.
I was thrilled with our defensive energy and effort both games. I thought our guys really flew around at that end of the floor. And then, with our press attack Saturday, I thought the guys, I know we did have some turnovers, but in a high possession game, 94 feet of full court pressure, that's going to happen. But I thought our guys did a really nice job of attacking the pressure, and it led to a lot of layups and dunks on the other end.
This may seem like a silly question, but at the beginning of the year, would you have thought that Ja Morant would put up 256 assists with 4 games to go?
Yeah, I thought he'd have a monster year. I really did. I thought he had an incredible freshman year. Watching the work that he put in this offseason, the way he worked and practiced this summer and fall, I'm not surprised at all.
Of his 256 assists, any way you could probably ballpark how much of it is you guys scripting a specific offense and him just finding ad hoc plays as the play goes?
I have no idea.
50-50 maybe?
I have no clue. I mean, it's, we want to put the ball in his hands and let him run the offense and make the plays, and especially when we can get him in the open floor when we're defending like we have been since the Jacksonville State game. It's been really good for us. And he's just obviously very special. Things get taken for granted. Like, no one has said a word. The guy threw a lob pass to Devin Gilmore from our top of the key, right on the money, about a 65-foot pass for a lob dunk. I mean, he makes insane plays like that look very routine.
You got shot 60% on Saturday. Is that the most efficient the offense has been this year? I know you said that because of the way they're playing you defensively that you're able to get a lot of layups and dunks.
Other than the Tennessee State game at home, I think it does rank as our most efficient offensive performance. We scored 56 in both second halves against EKU. I think big credit to our coaches and the preparation, with the scouting report and the press attack, and then Coach Whitman, our strength coach, from a conditioning standpoint. That was a very up-tempo game. We played our slowest game of the year on Thursday at Austin Peay, and then our fastest game of the year Saturday at EKU. So definitely contrasting styles, and I thought our guys handled both very well.
About differences, I noticed UT Martin, when you play them, if they start the same 5 they started last game, it's 4 different starters than last time. They've really transformed their team, a late addition, and they're playing really well.
They are. I don't know how it all happened, but they've added Craig Randall, who was a 2-year player at Memphis, then transferred to Duquesne, and then transferred to Martin and is eligible right away, and he's been playing really well in his 5 games so far. They've won 4 in a row, started with their big win at home over Jacksonville State, and playing with a lot of confidence. They got talented players. Preston Parks was the first freshman to lead the Southern Conference in scoring since Stephen Curry, and you can go right on down the list. They have really good players and playing their best basketball of the year.
How difficult is it when you're playing a team the second time around, considering how you beat them the first time at their place?
I don't even think it factors in this scenario. That was so long ago. That was back in, I think, maybe first or second week of January. So I don't think it plays any role at all. I think it'll be interesting to see what they do defensively. I thought we really attacked their 3-2 zone well at their place. I think we hit 15 threes maybe in that game. And they ended up switching, playing quite a bit of man in the second half. So, we have to be prepared for the different looks that they'll throw at us on Thursday.
Of those 15 threes, Tevin had 9 of them. He's really gotten it going back at the arc these last couple of games. I assume he's going to be a critical piece of the offense come Thursday. Maybe he can attack again from that.
Yeah, I mean, he's a critical piece of everything we do. I've talked about it a lot. I think he had a few games where he didn't shoot well, and it's really all in, we always like to focus on negative and things that aren't going well for some reason. But, he's played exceptionally well all year long. He's been a great defender. He's 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio on the year. I think 3-to-1 in league play. Phenomenal on the defensive glass at Austin Peay on Thursday. So it really just contributes in so many different ways. Obviously we hope he bombs in 9 or 10 more threes. but I think he impacts the game in a variety of other ways too.
Darnell Coward, production-wise, from a minutes played standpoint, phenomenal, but a little bit of foul trouble. Something he doing? Is it more aggressive on his nature?
No, he did foul some, Neil. Some of it's unfortunate. You know, I mean, he had an unbelievable post-up play. If you were doing a clinic on post-up play, that would have been on there on our out-of-bounds underneath play. Great seal, turn, layup. Guy at half court called it an offensive foul. So, I mean, you know, some of it's just been unlucky, but we do need him to stay out of foul trouble because he's been so effective on the floor, not just scoring the ball, but rebounding and especially passing.
Another critical game from Gilmore on Saturday, especially early. Had a couple of really good defensive plays down the other end. What are you seeing out of him over these last 3 weeks, and how is he continuing to contribute at such a high level?
Well, I think just the more he gets to play, the more experience he gets, he'll continue to make improvement. You know, I know we talked about how he earned his way onto the floor through his performance in practice. And now I think you just see him taking advantage of his athleticism, his ability to finish plays around the basket way up above the rim. And then the thing I was most pleased with in the second half, when we were struggling in the first half on the defensive glass on Saturday night, he was terrific in the second half on the weak side, got a lot of defensive rebounds for us.
Your team has done a good job contesting shots over the last couple of games. You've seen a lot of blocks from Tevin and Ja and Devin as well. Just talk about the aggressive nature that you guys are playing with on defense.
Yeah, I think really the same way we've played all year. You know, guys play extremely hard, play with great unselfishness, and I think sometimes that's just an offensive trait when people hear that word, but I think it holds true at the defensive end of the floor. You know, we've gotten beat some, but I think the next guy steps up and makes the multiple effort play to get a contested shot. And, you know, I think our three perimeter guys are responsible for setting the tone there at the defensive end. But then our forwards continue to get better and better every time out.
To parlay off that, if I'm not mistaken, you guys are leading the league in block shots with, like, not a single guy with a ton of blocks. It's like a collective effort. Is rim protection just a key factor that you tell the entire team? You just say, I don't care who does it, somebody do it?
Well, I mean, we try to have a good plan of attack defensively. I like our philosophy at that end of the floor, how we want to do things. But I think a lot of the block shots come from just having good players who have an understanding of where they need to be. And we have good length on the perimeter with Shaq, Ja, and Tevin. We have good size there, and they do a good job contesting shots. And then up front, you know, you have Darnell, you have KJ, Breon, all 6'8", 250 or more, and then Devin's athleticism. You know, he's been outstanding contesting shots around the basket over the last 6 games. So, you know, I think it's a big part of our defense, you know, is that we can hopefully, when we do get beat, have guys step up and make the next play.
I know you're never satisfied. Where do you want to see improvement between now and the OVC tournament?
Well, I think in all areas, but the one that really stands out to me is the defensive rebounding. I think we're average there, and I think as you go into tournament play, you have to be better than average on the defensive glass. So I think that's an area we need to keep getting better in for sure.